I've just stated my name is Dale Dexheimer. I was born in Frenchtown, New Jersey, March of 1940. In my interview, like so many other folks, I'm one of those guys that went and did my time in the U.S. military, and I didn't really do anything for those 3.5 years. I was just in there doing my time. And actually, that's a story I hear from a lot of veterans, but we all have a story to tell, so this is mine. As I say, I was born in March of 1940, Frenchtown, New Jersey. I grew up in rural Pennsylvania on what was a dairy farm. I remember we had cows in the barn until, probably 1946, right after the war. But somewhere in the early 60s, the farm hasn't been farmed since. But anyway, it was a rural area that I grew up in. Didn't know anything about the ocean or ships or any of that stuff. But I went to high school there in eastern Pennsylvania. Ended up with a BS in secondary education from East Stroudsburg State in Pennsylvania. I taught for 1 year. I taught for 1 year in Nazareth, Pennsylvania, and in that 1 year I found that I had very little patience. I was 22, 23 years old, teaching junior high history, and like I say, I didn't have any patience, and I thought the best thing for me to do, I could go down and I could enlist. I had a teacher's deferment, but I thought the thing to do, why don't I spend 3 or 4 years in the military, and that would give me some background and decide what I wanted to do with my life. So in May of 1963, I trundled off to Philadelphia and talked to the Navy recruiter, got myself into officer candidate school. To me, the Navy was a better choice. I didn't really think the Army was all that good. Something about laying in the dirt, bugs and people shooting at you and stuff like that didn't seem the way to go. I had a favorite uncle who had been in the Navy, and to me it was just a better choice. So I ended up in the Navy. As I say, I taught for that 1 year in Nazareth, Pennsylvania, went to OCS in October of '63. I reported, Officer Candidate School, Newport, Rhode Island, reported on a Sunday. And as I remember, they put us in the barracks, said this is where you're going to be for the next 16 weeks. But on that very first afternoon, we were out on the grinder learning a little close order drill. We did like 2 hours close order drill the first day we were there. And that close order drill was one of those things that you got pretty proficient at. We did a lot of close order drill. We were housed in World War II barracks. It was we were in the last class that lived in those World War II barracks. One of the neat things about being Rhode Island in the wintertime, in a barracks that the wind came around the windows and around the doors. There were any number of mornings that we would wake up and there would be snow on the floor and snow on your rack where it came around the windows and what have you. And it was a little chilly, but we had a good time. OCS was a 16-week program. The first 8 weeks on Monday through Friday, we had classes all day, and there was some drill thrown in there. Everywhere we went, we marched as a unit, had a weekly pass and review, a little parade for the powers that be, classes, and you know, all these schools you go to, you get some sort of an annual, and I can't find mine, so I'm a little hazy on what we really did, but we had classes in seamanship, leadership, engineering, gunnery, military justice, bunch of things, and I can't remember what they all were, but we marched to class, we marched from class, and somehow that chief that was our boss, he always found probably an hour in the day somewhere where we could go out on the parade ground and just march so we could get a little better at it. Just a matter of discipline, really. And being in the military, discipline, when somebody says go left, you better go left. When they say go right, you go right. And they put you out on that parade ground, by golly, and you learn when the man barks an order, that's what you do.